So all I need now is to find out where I put the thumb pick. Oh, where's the thumb pick gone? It's in the pocket. It's got a chorus. Very easy to pick up. There's the shearer, the spinner and the loom weaver, the dyer and the dryer with their hands chapped sore. It's a sing-along song, so you've got to sing along with it. When you get to hands chapped sore, if you can do that please, and then you'll remember it. And then there was the tailor with his dummy, and good Sir John Throckmorton and the coat that he wore, very easy. At the dawning of the day, 2 fine sheep were brought to Francis Druitt with his shears sharp and clean. He divested them of wool, the crowd they were a-cheering. Such a blurring of the shearers' blades they had never seen. There's the shearer, the spinner and the loom weaver, dyer and the dryer with their hands chapped so good. Then there was the tailor with his dummy, and good Sir John Throckmorton and the coat that he wore. Mr. John Coxeter, the owner of the mill, stood with his hands on his hips as he surveyed the fun. Then he gathered up the wool and he took it to the mill. There's so much to be done before the setting of the sun. There's the shearer, the spinner and the loom weaver, dyer and the dryer with their hands chapped sore. Then there was the tailor with his dummy, and good Sir John Throckmorton and the coat that he wore. Well, they spun it and they spooled it, warped it and they wove it. Such a throng of busy women you'll have never seen. Then they washed it and they dyed it, finally they dried it. Such a roll of finer cloth, well there has never been. There was the shearer, the spinner and the loom weaver, dyer and the dryer with their hands chapped sore. Then there was the tailor with his dummy, and good Sir John Throckmorton and the coat that he wore. Now Sir John had earlier been measured by the tailor, including inside leg, though there had been no need. And when the cloth was brought, the whole crowd were cheering. It's only 4 o'clock and they had made it in good speed. The shearer, the spinner and the loom weaver, dyer and the dryer with their hands chapped sore. Then there was the tailor with his dummy, and good Sir John Throckmorton and the coat that he wore. Now James White was given the very great honour to cut and sew the cloth according to the plan drawn up by his father Isaac, the master tailor, a fine coat for generations of the Throckmorton clan. There's the shearer, the spinner and the loom weaver, the dyer and the dryer with their hands chapped sore. Then there was the tailor with his dummy, and good Sir John Throckmorton and the coat that he wore. Finally it was ready in 13 hours and 20 minutes. Sir John proudly put the garment on and paraded like the gentleman he was through noble breeding before the cheering crowd. Now 5,000 strong, it was the shearer, the spinner and the loom weaver, dyer and the dryer with their hands chapped sore. Then there was the tailor with his dummy, and good Sir John Throckmorton and the coat that he wore. Well waggled with your hands, thank you. I'm going to introduce you now to somebody rather special. It's the first time I've ever introduced a Poet Laureate. Yeah. And today we've got the Poet Laureate of Wednesbury here. Now, I heard about him at first when I went to Whitwick Manor last year, and he's also the poet in residence at Whitwick Manor. And this afternoon, he's our poet at the White House. Could you welcome, please, Brendan Hawthorne?
Oh, mate, the way to the crowd. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Everybody okay?
Yes.
No? Yes. Okay, we've got to do something about that then. Any people out there like knitting?
Oh, a few knits.
Anybody out there been forced to wear any knitting that's been provided for them at Christmas, birthdays? Okay, well this one's really for you, because my mum was, and still is, a great knitter. This is called tank top warfare. Keep your hands up, wuss, there's only another 4 hanks to wind, and I'll knit you another tank top, because I know you like them. This one will be in 5 shades of green with red round armholes and neck and brown round the 5-inch waistband. Them all the good these days, ain't they? The pictures on air knitting pattern said it all. Middle-aged bloke and his son building a balsa wood yacht in the study of a middle-class semi. The son was modelling a plain tank top in maroon, and the dad a self-patterned in old gold, and none of it made sense to me. Because I lived in a flat, and my dad Dave make bow to me. There was only one colour in theirs, and not the strange combination my mother had invented. But when I got knitting, the needles would click like a typewriter, a red rocking backwards and forwards like a loom weaving damnation. Smoke would rise and the yarn would fold all neatly in a lap, woven and submissive. A fag end hung from the corner of her mouth, from tip to filter and back again. The wool would smell of fags, plumes of ash would rise up when I took the final stitch up. I was meant to go to schools in my tank tops. There's somebody with me here, either. I had one to wash, one to wear, and now I was having one for best, and my heart sank. My mates already took the mick out of me. Wait till they see this, and I know I'll have to grow into it, I suppose, but I'd still have to put up with balaclavas and bobble hats till I gained a sense of humour. That's when I plucked up the courage to say, "Mother, no more!" And that's when I burned the stocking stitch flag of surrender and hoisted up the crocheted flag of freedom. Now, I've had a request, and it was a good request because they normally end it off. So this is for Mr. Langford, wherever he is. He probably ain't going to listen to it now. He's probably disappeared. This is the Black Country joins in the space race. The Tatter's cart was looking bare now that council recycling had taken its toll. Jez the scrapman sat and gazed deeper in the recession dug overdraft hole. His thoughts had turned to new ways of how to earn an honest crust before the years of austerity could turn his family business to dust. It said somewhat in the local paper that said outer space was full of scrap. Floating round this little planet, Providence dropped an idea in his lap. I'll build me a Tatter's rocket. That's what will get me into orbiting into space. It'll get me a load of publicity as the Black Country joins the space race. I'll go out and grab an obsolete satellite or two, snatch a bit left over by Space Lab, drag in bits of Gemini and Apollo, could even get a few quid off an Hasselblad. So off Jez went to build a craft from salvage left in his yard, and pretty soon a rocket emerged on a launch pad with booster retard. He fuelled up the tanks with pink diesel. It'd smoke a bit, but he wouldn't get caught. Once he was named as a freeman, and all the honour that brought. He went to his aunties for help on powering up the craft and the axe doer, and getting 4 C-type cells from somewhat similar kept in a drawer. So as the countdown progressed, he made suits for him and his hoss. From central heating ducting systems, a bit of tape and pages from the Sporting Argos. I got that in there. At the point of launch, a small crowd gathered around the contraption that stood in the yard, and with a wave and a fond farewell, a statement was read with intent from a card. We go in the name of prosperity and peace, as well as audacity, into the great unknown. We'll go up there and collect our fortune in the name of these Black Country towns. With a cheer, the blue touch paper was lit, the ship spluttered and juddered and cuffed, and suddenly the ground did die off shake and silence the scoffers who'd laughed. With a whoosh and a pall of soot black smoke, the rocket sailed past the windows of the flats and up to where the pickings lay, and soon Jez was docking one bit to that. What Jez hadn't bargained for was now that him and his oss was on screen. Over in the US, NASA had noticed an unknown craft of the likes they'd never seen. A man and his oss in spacesuits, pulling a cart loaded with scrap. Surely they must be friendly. Who wouldn't want any mishap? Well, it seems that the plan wasn't really thought through on how to get all this scrap back up. Because metal burns up on re-entry if the angles are equal to the sun. So now at night there's another dim light floating in that great big void, as Jez waits for someone to bring him back, and his oss, he don't half look annoyed. Now, just before we get back to the music, some of you might know this, some of you won't. I had a bit of a ventriloquist act. My stage name was Gary Pally, and my ventriloquist doll was called Uncle Larry. Well, he's still called Uncle Larry. But we had a falling out, which is really bad if you're a ventriloquist act. And he disappeared for a while. And recently I had a letter from him. And I got the feeling that where he'd been for the last 12 months, he was living with my mother. And we've got the act back together. I've said that you owe off at him, just for this one last little bit. He does need a bit of encouragement, so I need you to start chanting Uncle Larry, and I want you to cheer him out because he's in here. Okay? But don't forget he's been to my mother, so he's pretty traumatised. Okay?
Uncle Larry!
So, come on.
We want Uncle Larry! Uncle Larry! Come on, Uncle Larry!
Look at his legs, yeah. I know his stuffing's coming out. Told you they wouldn't laugh at you now. This is the retirement speech of a black country ventriloquist. I've had enough of seeing your little wooden face, your bottom lip don't move much now, and your language is all as a disgrace. Your varnish is chipped and your left eye don't blink, not since that day you took to drink, and we both got rehab by a shrink. Your clues and dropping off your frame, the stage lights I'm all glowing dim, the social clubs I'm shutting down, it's such a blooming shame. In days gone by we had a radio show, we always had listeners and fans aplenty, be airing out our humour and setting the valves aglow. And remember them days, due to popular demand, we had to go and cut a bacon platter or two, for we had the distinction of the Royal Command. So off we went to meet Her Majesty the Queen, down to the gaff they call Bookhouse, the biggest gig we ever did, and you had to go and cause a scene. I tell you now, me muck and me old and rusty mate, the emotions I'm starting to rise in my throat, but I don't know how to feel all safted in it. Because it's in your case, you gummy man, for this the last and final time. Now the shine has faded, and the interest in we has gone. I really miss your finer points, your total lack of tact. Telling me to cut me nails in public with my hand halfway up your back. But before you go upstairs into that dry and dusty attic, I need to tell you something so annoying it could have sent me frantic. For the last 50 years or so, you've always called me Gary, and I never had the art or inclination to tell you that my mother had christened me Barry. Thank you very much.
He didn't speak.